guys, today we're going to be making an art mobile. We're going to kind of do it kind of similar to how I do my dream catchers. If you want to look up dream catchers online, you can get some history and background. But the idea of a dream catcher is that when you hang the dream catcher up in your room, like above your bed or by your window, that any bad dreams that are coming in will get caught in the web of the dream catcher, and then the ribbons that hang down from it, or beads, strings, feathers, whatever it is that hangs down from it, as the dreams come in, the good dreams will trickle down and then come down to you, whereas the bad dreams are kept out. So today what I'm doing is an adaptation to that, and so we're making an art mobile. We're going to use a hanger. So I've got a couple different types of clothes hangers here. This one is a metal hanger that I've bent. You can maybe bend it into a circle if you've got some pliers or really strong. So you can do any kind of shape really. But we've got that one, and then we've got a plastic one. I'm going to use the plastic one today. So I'll set that off to the side. And then what we're going to do from there is we're going to start attaching things to it to create the mobile so that when you hang it up, you'll have all these fun things hanging down. I've got some different ribbons and string yarn here. I've got some beads because it'll be really fun to add some beads onto it. I've got some material that I picked out, so I've got this here. It's really got a fun pattern on it. And let's see what else. I've got some charms. This one has a letter A on it, so you can get different charms. Maybe if you're making it for someone, or even for yourself, if you want to be able to put your initial on there. This is a locket. You might want to put a picture of yourself, your loved ones, and might make this as like a memorial type thing. So you can put that on there and then attach it with like a string, piece of yarn later. This is an old earring, old dangly earring. You can take this. This has the loop on it that you can bend with some pliers to wrap around, or you can take that part off completely and then just attach the yarn to that, tie a yarn around it, and then hang it from your mobile. So you can get creative. I've got a big heart here. Get creative, find some charms that you really like that you might want to hang off of it. And then pick colors that you really love or that represent something for you. So you might think, how am I feeling today? And then kind of go with that. And usually things will pop out to you that just, that it feels right. You might like things that are really soft or things that are sparkly. This string is really fun. It's got all these different little kind of hairy type of string, and it's soft. This kind of ribbon yarn, it stretches out, kind of has like a web design in it. It also has a little sequins, so it's kind of sparkly when the light hits it just right. So just think about what you would like. It shouldn't be something that would be too costly, just a matter of maybe a few dollars a skein of yarn, depending on if you don't have any already. So just pick out a couple that you really love. Get a couple of things of ribbon that you might be able to get for 50 cents or $1. You might be able to find some really cute materials in the stores, but then also if you want to just find something around your house, you might find old t-shirts maybe, or old shirts that maybe you're not going to wear anymore but has a really cool pattern that you really like, and then you can cut that up and use strips of that. So what I'm going to do with this material is I'm going to put a little cut in the end. Now if it's kids doing this, I would suggest have an adult use the scissors, depending on the age of the child, but you can just clip the end, and then you don't even have to sit and cut the whole thing. If you take this and just tear it, kind of creates a really fun experience of just tearing material, but also as you tear it, it'll tear straight down in a line. And there we are. Okay, so now you have two strips. You can take the extra little stringy things off if you'd like, but now Now we have 2 strips that we can build to use on the mobile, and then what we'll do is we'll end up hanging them off of there. I'm going to set those aside for a moment. I'm going to show you an example of how we can decorate the center. So obviously we can hang things off of it, but if you wanted to maybe fill the inside, and the way that a dream catcher is, it has kind of a web going across the middle of it. It's usually a circle, kind of like a mandala, and then you would have kind of this web design that goes on in the middle. But what we can do with this is you can take this string or yarn, you can tie it at one end on the top. I will show you that. So I've tied it here. Okay, made a little knot. And then wrap it around, kind of go across, and then we'll tie it off on this other end. So we've got kind of a fun design going on in the middle. And this also gives us something that if later we want to come back with, say, a charm like this, it has a little clasp on it, so all I would have to do is open that clasp and then stick it on there. Like I can clasp it onto this ribbon. It'd probably dangle down a little lower, but so that kind of makes that nice. All right, so I'm going to tie this one off here. Okay, so there's the beginning. This is optional. Like I said, you don't have to do that, but it just kind of creates a fun pattern in the middle. Pick any kind of yarn, string, ribbon. Any of these materials would work great for it. All right. Then what we're going to do is take some of that material that we tore, and I'm going to put this through. I folded it in half. I'm going to put it through here, and then I'm going to take, and through that loop, I'm going to pull the other 2 parts that are hanging down on the other side. Okay. So now we have that there. Okay. Fun. So I'm going to continue to do that with another one. I'm going to do that on this side. Now you don't have to make it even. You can just keep adding random strings and ribbon, yarn. I happen to do things a little more symmetrical, so everybody's a little different in how they do it. I've already pre-cut some pieces of the yarns and ribbons so that I can show you kind of quickly how you'll do this. But just be creative and have fun with it. Figure out what colors you like, what's calling your name. Okay, so next we will do some green. Nice fun contrast in color. Add one on either side here. Now some people might make one because it goes with the colors in their bedroom. You might make one with colors that represent someone in your life. Maybe you're going to incorporate some of the charms to represent people in your life, loved ones. You can even find charms if you are an animal lover. You can get little charms of different animals. And like I said, you can do kind of a memorial if you want to use like the locket to put a picture in there. Just get creative, have fun with it. This is yours. This is all whatever comes to your mind. It's not for anyone else to decide. Okay, now once we get all the strings on that I want. Now I might go through and completely fill this up, and you can tie them up on the top, so you're not limited to just tying them along the bottom. You can tie strings and yarn to hang down from the top and from the bottom. So just be creative and figure out where you want them, because it's all up to you, not to anybody else, how you would want to do it. And once you get all of the strings on that you want, then you can go back and add all the extra little details with the charms and the beads. So we're going to do that. I'm going to do one more. Got another green one here. I'm going to put that right in the middle. There's the end. There it is. Okay. Stick that on there. Alright, so now what we're going to do, I'm going to take the smaller string, and you can take and you can put beads on each one, or you can put them together, and if you kind of twist them together to make them small enough to fit through, you can pick a bead and put those through. And you might decide that you've done some like that where both strings are coming through, but then maybe you want to put individual beads on each string. Now when you're doing this, if you do have a group of people, if it's not just you, say you have a few of you, you might take and get little containers, little bowls, paper plates, something like that. And each person can then take this back to where they're sitting with some beads or trinkets that they're going to use, so that you're not all trying to get into the container at the same time. Okay, so then I'm going to take my beads and pick out some different beads to put on my strings. And you can create patterns if you want. Just do it random. You can do your mobile in any way you want. So if you want to make it all one color, let's say you just love blue. Like I love blue, but I've got some greens and pinks and stuff in here. But let's say you just love this one color and you want to just do a bunch of different shades of that color, or maybe all white or all black. And you can do that, and that can be really interesting and fun. You could do all rainbow colors. Now, once I've gotten as many beads as I want to get onto my string, I'm going to put some on this other side so we have them on both, so I can show you what I'm doing here. And I'm just randomly picking them, but I would probably normally purposely put certain colors on here. But for today, I'm going to do them kind of random. So I've put some different beads on each string here. And then what I'm going to do is actually go ahead and put both of these back together. And pick one bead for the end here. If you just want to tie the beads off at that point, you could, and have them dangle. You can put them back together like this. So you've got single beads here with the two strings going through, and then this string split with the beads, and then ended with one bead again. And then you can tie this string around to make a knot, so that holds that on. You could also leave that off, and if you want, just tie the string around the end of the last bead on each string. So we just want to tie a knot around so that way that they don't go anywhere. And then when you hang it up, those beads will dangle down below. So you got the beads, and you can do the same thing with the charms. So if you wanted to go ahead and put a charm hanging on there, you just tie that on. You can tie it onto any of the ribbons, any of the strings. It might not, these might be a little big. You could do it though. But yeah, you could just tie on any kind of charms, any kind of different strings, ribbons, beads. Have fun with it. Like I said, find what you can around your house. If you need to go get a couple items. They shouldn't be too much if you just need to buy a couple things of yarn or string, ribbon. But otherwise, just find things that you have, cut up old shirts with really cool patterns, find beads and charms, yarn, and have fun. It's all simple, done with a clothes hanger. Now I can go hang this up so it can dangle. I really like the sequins on these, makes it a little sparkly. Now it's your turn. All right, have fun, you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.